Hey guys, this is Ronmower, and this is a video response to Magus's video asking us what is our favorite video game console of all time and why. And if for some reason you can't tell by looking at the picture in this video, my favorite video game console of all time is the NES, and here's why. It's simply the greatest video game system of all time. And you might be thinking, no it's not, the PS3 is better. Well, duh, of course it's better technically, but when I mean the greatest system of all time, I mean the NES is just so legendary. I mean, it's what put video games back on the map at a time where the video game world was kind of going downhill and was probably about to be extinct. Nintendo came out with the NES in '85, and games like Mario Brothers, Zelda, Metroid, Mega Man, Castlevania, Contra, Tetris, Dr. Mario, I mean, those games made the NES legendary. And the NES lasted for 9 years before they finally 86'd it, and then the Super Nintendo came along and took over. The Super Nintendo came in 91, 92, but you know, Super Nintendo then became the thing, and the NES finally had to retire in 94. The NES is just legendary. I mean, without the NES, you probably wouldn't see game systems like Super Nintendo, Genesis, and 64 making their way into the video game world. You would not see PS1, PS2, PS3 probably today, or Xbox 360, or maybe, I don't know. The NES, in my opinion, is what set the trends for these next systems to come out. I mean, you know, you got like games like probably, I'm not sure, I think Double Dragon, I don't know if it's the first side-scrolling fighting game or not, I'm not sure, but it's one of the first. I mean, that probably spawned games like Final Fight and Streets of Rage. Well, the NES, in my opinion, really spawned other systems to come out, and then here we are today. And today's games seem so easy, you know, and much easier than the old games, because the NES games will kick your butt. They showed no mercy. And I remember the Happy Video Game Nerd reviewing Little Nemo the Dream Master, saying, you know, no Ratchet and Clank stuff, you know, let's not hurt the child's self-esteem stuff, you know. Back then, those games were hard, they kicked our butt, and I think they made us better gamers for it. If you didn't have patience, you were not going to be a good gamer. And the NES had great challenging games, great music. Mega Man has great music. Castlevania series, I mean, and of course the graphics, and of course what's most important, the gameplay. And I mean, and so that's why, in my opinion, the NES is the greatest system of all time. It's the Hulk Hogan of video game systems, and it's my personal favorite video game console of all time. I mean, the NES is a big part of my childhood. Now, before I played the NES, I played Atari 2600, and I played Asteroids and Donkey Kong. I was so little, I don't remember much of that. But then I went on to the Sega Master System next, and I had fun with games like Rocky, and I forgot, Pro Wrestling, the Ninja, Kung Fu Kid, and then, but some of my friends would have the NES, and I would be so jealous. I had fun with the Master System, but I kept on, you know, asking my parents, asking my dad, please buy me a Nintendo Entertainment System. I remember seeing the commercials saying, now you're playing with power. And I was like, Daddy, I want to play with power. I want the NES. So he finally got me one, and I wanted to rob the robot to come with it. I had no idea what the robot was supposed to do. It just looked cool on TV, you know. I'm a 7-year-old kid saying, ooh, I want the robot too. The robot cost extra to come with the NES, and my dad said, no, it's too dangerous. Which I know is a lie now, but at the time I believed him. You know, I guess the robot could punch me or something if I died in the game. I don't know. My dad convinced me it was dangerous, and that was his excuse for not buying it. But anyway, without the NES, I don't think my childhood would be as fun as it was. I mean, I remember having fun with a lot of my friends playing games like Castlevania 2, a game that was so popular among me and my quote-unquote friends that one of those quote-unquote friends stole it. I still believe to this day they stole it. They kept on denying it, but I think they did steal it. Mega Man 2, and I said my Mega Man 2 commentary. Me and a bunch of friends play that, and one of my friends was literally about to fight each other over that game. I mean, literally about to fight. And and you got of course Mario Brothers 1. I mean, there's a ton of NES games I can mention. Shadowgate, I don't know if you ever heard of that, but in my opinion, Shadowgate's one of the most underrated RPGs of all time. And by the way, happy video game nerd. If you're hearing this, please review Shadowgate, assuming that you like it. That's a forgotten gem right there. So there you go. The NES, in my opinion, is the greatest video game system of all time, and my personal favorite video game system of all time. And so there you go. Alright guys, thanks for listening. I'm Ronmower. God bless. Y'all take care.